video even really get started, man, long live Nipsey Hussle, man. Nip the Great, man. You know what I'm saying? The king, you hear what I'm saying? King Nip. Long live that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Neighborhood, throw it the neighborhood for Nip, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Long live Nip. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy NFL HARLEM, man. Never fake loyalty, and I'm back with another video. Y'all already know what this video gonna be about by the title, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we back, man. I'm feeling good about this one, boy. This joint right here got my boy Nip in it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Swamp Stories. That's why I got this video from that I'm gonna be reacting to. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long. Y'all already know what to do, man. Like the video, you know what I'm saying? Hit that post notification bell, you know what I'm saying? What else? Oh yeah, subscribe to the channel, man. Y'all already know, man. NFL never fake loyalty, bro. Let's get into it.
Well, here's how it all worked out. Tookie Williams was the ultimate decision maker. Originally, the whole West Side was unified under Tookie. So when subgroups such as the Rolling 60s first started to form, they needed his approval. And that means that there are rules to it. First, it's all about representing. And for the 60s, that meant wearing Seattle Mariners hats. The S represents 60s. But when Tookie went down in 1979, his approval was not important anymore. So during the next few years, the 60s got so big that they began having their own subgroups. Starting with Front Hood, which is around Crenshaw and Florence. Then you have the Overhills, Arlington, Bryanhurst, and Dime Block. Altogether, there are officially 6,000 to 8,000 Rolling 60s members. Yes.
Woo! Boy, that's a lot of guys right there, boy. That is one of the biggest hoods, though. I ain't gonna lie. See, I'm out in NC right now, and they way out here too. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of sets out here. Well, let's go.
That's the official number. Now, let me be honest. The number is probably way lower than that in reality, but either way, this makes them by far the largest on the West Side. But
shout out Nip.
They're the biggest, only prominent group in the area. At the same time that the 60s formed, so did another very important group. Let me introduce you to the Trays. Located right under the 60s, spanning from Gage to 98th, you have another West Side subgroup. They originally formed with the approval of Tookie Williams, just like the 60s. The reason that they're called A-Tray is to represent 83rd Street. They're known to wear Texas Rangers hats and sometimes Texas Longhorns hats as well. And just like the Rolling 60s, they formed 5 subgroups as well. The North Side, the Far West Side, the West Side, the Back West Side, and the South Side. So now you might be wondering, why did I bring up the A-Trays? 1979, the year that LA split in half. Up until this point, A-Tray and the Rolling 60s were actually associates. They had respect for each other, but more importantly, they had common rivals. You see, before 1979, everything was aligned as red or blue.
I ain't gonna lie though, I know a lot of this knowledge right here. You know what I'm saying? I got family members that bang, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Trays, you know what I'm saying? The gangsters, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to the neighborhood car, man. You know what I'm saying? The 6-0s and all them, man. Shout out all them guys, man. Shout out to the Lokes. You dig? The Bloods too, you know what I'm saying? I ain't leaving y'all out, you know what I'm saying? But we talking about the Crips right now. You feel what I'm saying? Don't get mad and all that, you feel me? But anyway, shout out to gangsters, man, and shout out to neighborhoods. You already know what time it is, man.
There was no blue versus blue or red versus red. But when A-Tray and the Rolling 60s allegedly fell out over a girl, everything got crazy. An argument led to an altercation, which then led to the loss of a Rolling 60s man. And when this happened, everything turned upside down. The whole LA became centered around A-Tray versus Rolling 60s. Colors no longer mattered. You either sided with the Trays or the 60s, which also became known as the Deuces. It pretty much went like this. The Trays consisted of Inglewood family, the Hoopers, Main Street, and Avalons. The Deuces then consisted of the 60s, East Coast, Raymond Ave, Denver Lane, Crenshaw, and most importantly, the neighborhood Crips. That includes the rolling 30s, 40s, 50s, 80s, 90s, and 100s. I hope everyone can understand how insane this is. The entire landscape of LA changed instantly, and former friends became enemies, while former enemies became friends.
I ain't gonna cap though. I ain't know nothing about the Deuces, what he's saying about the Deuces or whatever. I just know about the neighborhood car and the gangster car. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know about the deuces or whatever, but I thought that was the whole divide right there. You had to be with the gangsters, you see what I'm saying? Or you had to be with the neighborhood car. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know.
And because of this new dynamic, the next 2 decades were crazy to say the least. Don't believe me? Check this out. In 1980, the Los Angeles homicide rate was 34 per 100,000. And in comparison, in 2019, it was just 6.4 per 100,000. So just be aware that the 80s and 90s were on a whole different level. So when your OGs tell you back in my day, do not roll your eyes. Listen to them. It was worse in their day. And it all pretty much involved the deuces and the trades. And things got especially crazy in 1984 when Rolling 60s Taekwon Cox, also known as Lil Feet, hooked up Tookie Williams and San Quentin. After this, every single day, something new was going on in South Central. And a lot of the times, it wasn't even about colors. That's just how the world interpreted it from the outside. Beneath the surface, it's real humans going through real things. Sometimes you just have to put yourself in their shoes. Don't believe me? Well, check this story out. September 3rd, 1994. 3 Rolling 60s men, Dalen Hicks, Lamar Armstrong, and Trevon Boyd, had run into a 13-year-old girl. I don't even want to say what happened, but you guys can put 2 and 2 together. Well, after she was found in the alley, her godfather would get word of what happened. His name is Marcus Adams, but he's known as Lil Sonny. Well, he was understandably upset about what happened, and he decided that he needed to deal with it. So for the next 3 days, he would inquire about who did it. September 7th, 1994. Lil Sonny would find the 3 men sitting in their car on 47th Street. He would walk up to their car and ask for their names. He would then ask them if they did what he thinks they did. Surprisingly, they would brag about it to his face. Then he would let them know that that was his goddaughter. Then they would laugh and say, "Hey, do you want to be next?" And he answered the question in a very different way.
That's the ultimate disrespect. Rest in peace to them dudes. I don't know them or whatever, but they went out bad though. That's crazy. How y'all gonna rape the little girl and all that? That's wild. And then taunt the uncle or the godfather when he come up to check y'all playing games like they don't get real out here. That's crazy.
Well, a woman nearby would quickly report that it was Sonny who did it. She would also mention that he is a 6-deuce brain, and that would be all it would take. Lil Sonny is not eligible to get out. But regardless, I think everyone can empathize with the decision he made.
That's
we
a fact.
can all agree that it was a bad look for the 60s. But the problem is that regardless of the real reason, it was decided that it was only about colors. In the newspaper, none of the reasons were given. All it said was 6-deuce sprint and 3 rolling 60s. They didn't mention anything to humanize the decision that he made. So I hope this story was interesting enough.
They gotta they can't humanize you. If like back in the slavery times or whatever, they called like our ancestors and stuff like we was treated like cattle and stuff, like animals and savages and all that type stuff. That's what they called us because they couldn't humanize us. They couldn't make us look like we was humans. If they did, it'd make them look a certain type of way, like they didn't have decency or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But in reality, like for somebody to be able to do that to another group of people, they are the real savages. You feel what I'm saying? But that's my thoughts on that.
Some more recent times. The early 2000s. This is when Nipsey Hussle really made a name for himself. He grew up in the 60s between his mom's house and his grandma's, but he really went out on his own at the age of 14. That's when he was jumped into the rolling 60s. He spent most of his teenage years living the lifestyle that many don't make it out. But in 2004, at the age of 19, his father took him on a trip.
Hey, that'd be hard as hell.
Eritrea. He said that this trip to the motherland changed his life. He came back to South Central with a new motivation to be a community activist with an entrepreneurial spirit. So that's when he dropped his first mixtape, Slossin' Boy, in 2005. After that, it was a slow grind. He didn't take off as quickly as he thought he would. It was a marathon, not a sprint.
That's a fact.
And that's why he stayed consistent. It sounds easy, but this wasn't without plenty of obstacles along the way. Nipsey Hussle was still a rolling 60 at the end of the day. and a lot comes with that. He had to watch for 8 Trey, Van Ness, Inglewood family, Harvard Park, Grape Street, and the Hoovers. And then let's mention that the Rolling 20s became rivals as well. It's safe to say that the 60s are not popular. Let's get into some of the important historical events that took place. I can't possibly cover everything, or else this would be an hour-long video. March 2nd, 2013. 2 Rolling 60s men, Marcus Megan and Terrell Hysaw, are driving in a rental car down Figueroa Street in South Central. And for those who don't know, this is the Hoovers area. Well, that's where they find a father and son walking down the street. Eric Richardson and his father, Eric Richardson Sr. Well, they roll down the window and yell, "What's up, Groove?" This is a term that they use to call the Hoovers. Well, the Richardsons turn around, and before they can respond, bang!
It get wild.
Pulled over for speeding, and that would be the end for them. Well, as it turns out, Eric and his son had nothing to do with the Hoovers. This should remind you of my previous video. It seems like a common theme in LA. Well, now that you understand the environment of what goes on in South Central, let's talk about some of the accomplishments of Nipsey Hussle. He was all about opportunity and education. He understood what it meant to be a product of your environment and that his path could have been easily veered in another direction. He understood the importance of structure, which many kids in his area lack. So in order to help out, he didn't point fingers. He took it upon himself to uplift his community. He bought real estate in the Crenshaw area, which he used for multiple purposes. First, he had his Marathon clothing store, where he hired the community to maintain and operate the store. Then he opened up a non-profit center for the youth. This is where children could find science and tech-focused tutors and classes. Nipsey stated that his goal was to fill the void of science, engineering, and math skills in the community. His major goal was global. He wanted to expand the programs to Atlanta, Baltimore, and Chicago. But now let's get back to the story.
Yeah, long live that boy, you know what I'm saying, bro? R.I.P. Nip, man, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to his family, yo.
2019, Nipsey Hussle would be at his store with a large number of friends, family, and fans. One of the men there was a fellow Rolling 60 named Eric Holder. He would walk up to Nipsey to dap him up, but Nipsey didn't want any parts of that. That's because of rumors floating around that Eric Holder had paperwork on his name, so Nipsey Hussle would be upfront with him. He would say something like, "I can't be around you, bro." So Eric Holder would go walk back to his girlfriend's car and ask her to pull back up on Nipsey. She didn't want to do it, so instead, he would just get out of the car and walk up to Nipsey. Bang! On April 2nd, 2019, Eric Holder would go down for it. Nipsey Hussle.
And they gave him 60 years. They gave that man 60 years. And them folks got a sense of humor, don't they? They say you from 60s, we gonna give you 60 years. That's how they play. Now that's 2 lives gone. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't fair out here. Y'all little youngers better get out the street, stop playing out here, cause it ain't no game. And they gonna win every time. Y'all better move cautious out this mud. Y'all better get it together, man, for real, cause it ain't no game.
Received a lot of love after his passing, some real and some fake. I will admit, there were a lot of people pretending to be Nipsey fans that probably never listened to his music before. And quite honestly, I'd be lying if I said I thought he was a great rapper. But regardless, his impact was
Nip dope. Don't do that.
Bigger than music, and he uplifted more people than he ever could have imagined. And on a positive note, this incident actually brought together many 8 Trays and Rolling 60s. But it didn't bring everyone together.
And that's gangster. You see, it brought everybody together like that. It's only one Nip. And they respected that. Even if it didn't last long. You feel what I'm saying? Even if it didn't last long, it lasts for a little bit. It showed you that it's possible for that beef to end. You feel what I'm saying? Between the neighborhood card and the gangster card. You feel what I'm saying? It showed that that's possible. You know what I'm saying? And it took for somebody great to die. You feel what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Long live Nip. I ain't trying to get long-winded. Let's get back into it.
March 31st, 2021. Rolling 60's Shady Blue would be in Palmdale, which is located about an hour north of LA. He was a close friend of Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey even mentioned him in a song called Keys to the City. I would say the lyrics, but I told you guys that I wouldn't rap again, so I'm gonna stick to that. But Shady Blue would be driving a white sedan down Palmdale Boulevard. Bang! this incident would be a big deal. 1090 Jake would even make a video about it right away. But this story gets even crazier. After the incident, the Hoopers would take to Instagram and make all kinds of jokes.
Come on, y'all. They really just said not on Nip Day? Y'all dudes crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie. Cats, y'all gonna get enough of dissing dead people. Like, for real. It ain't enough that the dude gone. You gotta pick on him being gone too? That's crazy. We gotta do better, man. Tighten up.
And at the same time this happened, Hoover rapper Jap 5 began making a name for himself. He made songs dissing Crip Mac along with Instagram Lives.
Oh yeah, I remember the dude Jap 5, man. Shout out to the Hoovers. You know what I'm saying? He was before Crip Mac. They say they got it in jail and shit too. They say boy got the best of Crip Mac though. You know what I'm saying? Them videos floating around. Y'all can go check them out. Matter of fact, I might react to one of them videos. You see what I'm saying? But they say old dude Jeff 5 was a boxer.
In the rolling 60s. Doing all this really made him a prominent figure in LA. He even did a no jumper interview where he talked about staying out of trouble and focusing on music. In my last video, everyone was in the comments talking about he has a tongue ring, blah blah blah. I wouldn't take him seriously. November 19th, 2021. Jap 5 would go down for the incident on March 31st, 2021. Wow. That's all I have to say. Wow.
Alright, y'all, so that's the end of the video, man. Like my boy said, man, the marathon continue, bro. We still uploading these videos. I hope y'all enjoy this one, bro. But if y'all don't like this one, go check some more out, bro, because they gonna keep coming back to 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 back. You feel what I'm saying? So rock with your boy, you know what I'm saying? Like this video, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? And hit that post notification bell, man, for more content. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get notified when I drop a video like I'm about to drop this one. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna get notified for every video that I drop. You did? You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, man. I appreciate y'all for coming, man. Hit that subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? Follow the gang, you feel me? NFL, you know what I mean? And y'all already know the slogan if y'all been here, man. Keep your eyes to the sky. You feel what I'm saying? Keep your ears to the street. You feel me? Keep your head on the swivel. You know what I mean? And if you don't feel it in there, ain't right. You know what I'm saying? NFL, man, never fake loyalty.
From the struggle, I started with nothing, still hustle for some. Gotta go get it. Flex on the edge, just watch how I spend it. Came from the hood, where niggas be acting like bitches. And bitches be dying for butter. Lead a nigga on and leave him as soon as he said it, he low.